a lot of people have found it odd that Conservatives in the province are not campaigning for federal Conservatives, and I was just wondering if that's normal or if there's a reason, or...
Well, I think you can look at the history and find that that is not uncommon, but quite frankly, Premier Ford made it very clear before this campaign started, we are focusing on governing in Ontario, and if you look at what media coverage we have been able to garner over the last few weeks, which is not a lot, unfortunately, because the fourth federal election clearly is the story. But we've been traveling the province, making announcements, funding programs, announcements of new schools, announcements of new hospitals. I was up in Northern Ontario last week for the beginning of Forest Week, and then finished it here in my home riding. So we're out in the province doing our job as government, and that's what we're focusing on.
Do you think it's been a little unfair that people have commented about so much about how you guys are going to be off for a total of 5 months?
Well, when we're traveling the province, there's no such thing as being off when you're in this job, and I think most people recognize that. That some people may like to, they make comments that are different than that, but people who know me know that I'm not off. Otherwise, why haven't they seen me here in Barry's Bay?
Right.
We've been traveling the province and doing our job, and we continue to do it. The reality is that being in the legislature, the only thing you're doing there is passing legislation and answering questions in question period. Governing goes on 365 days a year, and my constituency office, as everyone knows, is open, no different whether the legislature is sitting or whether the legislature is in recess.
I've personally noticed that you're probably one of the most accessible provincial politicians, especially for a cabinet minister. So good for you on that. That's...
Well, I come from the valley here, so this is the way we do business. I mean, people don't see me usually with an entourage with me. I mean, when I'm traveling as the minister, I do have staff usually, because there will be reasons to have staff, because there will be sometimes questions, technical questions about certain things that I may not be able to answer, and that's why I have people who are advisors on aggregate or forestry, that kind of thing that may be with me. But the reality is that I generally like to be out meeting people myself.
I know you probably don't want to comment directly on the Trudeau blackface thing, but as an overarching issue, do you think maybe that we take our sins from the past a little bit too seriously in the present? Now, I'm not saying you need to absolve Trudeau or anything like that, but before his situation occurred, there was a lot of digging into 10-year-old tweets to see if someone said something untoward and using that against them to disqualify them as candidates. It's happened to Liberals and Conservatives, and I'm just wondering if you think that maybe we've gone a little bit too far with what I call cancel culture?
We all have a past.
Can you tell me yours?
No. Probably I'll refrain from giving all of my past. Some of it's public record, and quite frankly, I never run from it, because it's reality, it's the truth. But I will say this, and I think it's fair comment, and some people will make